Today on the Platinum Patrol, we have a game from the RathFr Dreadman up against Nice. This PVZ, we'll have to see if it goes like the rest of RathFr Dreadman's game when he gets banely busted at 5 minutes and loses. But maybe this time that'll be different. So far we have a probe going to make a wall on the low ground. The Zerg player is setting an overlord across the map. And he's going to make some drones, make another overlord. Nothing too exciting. The Dreadman, on the other hand, will be making probes. It's basically the same as a drone, except it's a different race's unit. Looks like his pylon is pretty well timed there. He got his probes out. Hopefully he chrono boosts some workers. He's storing up some energy he doesn't need to right now. Well, chrono boost out on your workers while the other races always complain about the economy. There you go. Nice. Meantime, our Zerg player is getting up a spawning pool. Probably going to transition a drone down and make a hatchery. There we go. Pretty standard. With the gateway being built in the wall, which has to include these destructible rocks. If they're destroyed, some units could run in, but they have a lot of health. So that would probably take a while, and he would notice. The probe goes in. Sees what's going on. Pretty standard build from the Zerg player. Probe leaves. Nexus starting up from the RathFr Dreadman. Looks like he's going to need a cyber core. Where'd that probe go? So the pylon. The cybernetics core is pretty late. I guess he doesn't need it right now. He doesn't have the money. It's alright. He's going to start building a zealot. And he's supply blocked, but only for a few seconds. The Zerg player, in the meantime, has 300 minerals. Is he making a third hatchery? No. What's he going to make? Queens. Okay, he still has 450 minerals. Would he cube another queen? Nope, made 2 overlords. Alright. This overlord's going to fly in, see the nexus. The probe builds the cybernetics core. Probably going to build another gateway here, make the wall. We'll have to see what kind of build he goes for. Alright, so there's a hole here. This probe holds the ground until the zealot arrives. The zealot arrives and the probe stays. He is the guardian here. You shall not pass the probe land. The zealot would probably do a better job though. And the probe could mine some minerals. There we go. And it looks like queens are coming out. Our Zerg player is still at around 400 minerals. Could definitely do something with them. Like, take this hatchery over here if you wanted to. This overlord flies into the back. I'm not sure why it's not at this pillar. These 2 Zerglings don't do anything. Looks like he chrono boosts out in a depth. Probably wasn't necessary. But then again, he has been bailing busted 4 games in a row before this, so perhaps he's afraid of that. Looks like the Zerg is down 6 drones in about 3 minutes. I'm not really 7 drones. I'm not really sure how they were. There we go. A bunch of workers finish up. There we go. He caught back up. Getting some minerals. The Iron Destroyer 2 is building a Twilight Council. He's getting some more probes. Chrono boosted out. We'll have to see if this is the adept timing attack here. It would be pretty interesting if it was. Looks like there's 2 evolution chambers. Speaking of the adept timing attack, this guy seems extremely afraid of it right now. I think he's gonna wall off his base except for this space with the queens. So the adepts can still get in here, but this is gonna stop pretty much every other early attack. So he's playing very defensively, although he's also getting a third. So I guess the third's a warning. Just kind of makes sense, I guess. The Zergling checks for the third base, sees it's not there, comes to the wall. This Overlord, does it see anything really? I see some probes. Oh, he's scouting with it now. Looks like another layers are being upgraded. Iron Destroyer 2 has a sentry, just gets enough energy for the scout and sends the Phoenix across the map. Overlord's going into the main. What's he going to be building? His Twilight Council is done. He's getting some gateways. Looks like he's getting the Adept Glaives. Alright then. Glaives going on. This will probably be the Adept timing attack. And we'll have to see how much damage it does if he gets a lot of workers. If he has enough to defeat his opponent. He's fully saturated here. You could probably transition some of these probes to the Vespian Geysers. Probably be more efficient. This Overlord's hiding here. We'll have to see what comes out of here. Probably an observer, warp prism, some kind of robotics unit, I'm guessing. Prism makes the most sense here, unless he wants the observer first. Observer first would also make sense. What just happened here? So it looks like the Glaives upgrade was cancelled for the Adept timing attack, and now we're doing Zealot charge with 2 Forges. And there's already 10 Adepts here. Alright, I'm pretty sure that was a misclick. He misclicked, cancelled the Glaives, and started charge. Now he's just making something up. Question is, what will he do with his Adepts, which can't get out by the Zealot hole? Okay, at least he realizes the Zealot's in the way and moves it out. Yeah, that's like 10 Adepts here. 12 now. Without the upgrade, this attack's not going to do very much. He gets an Immortal instead of the Prism now. So he's building some more pylons. And we'll have to see what this attack does. They're not going to have Resonating Glaives, so their damage is going to be lower. Much lower than a standard attack here. But we'll have to see how much it does to the Zerg player, who is getting a lot of roaches right now. He's getting a lot of roaches. He's got this big wall here. Looks like he's very prepared for some kind of attack. And here come the Adepts. There's only 1 drone here. Just fine. RathFr Dreadman is up 5 drones over the Zerg, which is nice. Looks like he's going to try and go. He's going to cancel the Shade and run away. And it looks like the Zealot shows up and starts hitting a hatchery. Looks like these Adepts will mostly get away. Unless they stop moving. No, keep moving. Loses 2 extras there. 3 extras he didn't have to. Not great. Army's still pretty even. He went down, lost 7 Adepts for nothing. Obviously that is not ideal. But he's starting Storm. He's getting Immortals. He's in a strong defensive position. His opponent does have his 3rd base up though. But at least the RathFr Dreadman is up on workers over this Zerg. It's kind of odd, really. The Zerg hasn't been building workers as much as he could have. If Storm finishes and he gets some Templars, this will be fine. But right now, he only has a few Adepts, Zealots, Immortals, Sentry, and these rocks are starting to go down. He's getting both of his attacks, both his level 1 upgrades. A little fight here. Adept goes down to some Corrosive Biles, but there's a lot of roaches coming over here now. This army is getting very large. This is up by 30 army supply at this point, which is very significant, especially with all these Ravagers coming in. This Protoss army is much smaller in comparison. And we'll have to see if he's able to hold this, because this attack's very scary for the Protoss. Behind it though, the Zerg is low on workers, so this is a pretty good... If he holds this, he'll be in a pretty good position economically, especially with his 3rd base coming up. He's getting more gateways. He's warping in here. If these rocks go down, he does have units here to flank with. And Storm is done, so once these Templars get energy, he should be fine. Looks like the army's forced away again. The Zerg's taking his 4th base. Interesting. His level 1 up, or level 2 weapons are starting. Some Zealots get baited in here. Take a couple Corrosive Bile hits. Storm's done now, and he has enough energy. Just about 5 more seconds to have enough energy. So this gateway's going to go down. Looks like he's biding his time, waiting for the energy for Storm. Engaging without it here would be very, very bad. So he's waited long enough. See if he waits for his level 1 upgrades to finish too. That'd be really good. Looks like he's going to hit the anti-timing. Nope, he pulls back. He pulls back. He's getting ready. As soon as these upgrades go, that'd be the perfect time to go attack. There's weapons. Armor's finishing, so this is a great time to go. We'll wait a couple more seconds for the armor. Here he goes. He's engaging. He's fighting. The storms land. Not too many storms. He's just enough to push his army back. He's running out of energy now, though. But he's got his upgrades, and he's got more Immortals. And some more Zealots coming in. There's a lot of Immortals here. And the army supplies have evened out from these exchanges. 6 Immortals versus Roach Ravager army is very devastating. I have no idea what those Biles were aiming at. There's no observer here. Looks like the RathFr Dreadman's okay now. He's transferring workers to his 3rd base. He does army position between his 2nd and 3rds, getting more Zealots, getting some Archons. He's out of Templar with energy now, probably working on that, getting his 2/2 upgrades, just like his Zerg opponent. The Zerg opponent building 12 drones, going to catch up on workers and surpass him. And this army comes in here to hit the 3rd. Where is the Dreadman's army? Oh, it's moving out. So this base looks like it's going to go down. Hopefully the probes get away. It looks like they do. The Dreadman lets it go down now. See if he can catch any of the army. Looks like it's going to escape, and he's supply blocked now from that pylon and Nexus dying. That's not good. And it appears his opponent is still banking 1,500 minerals while he's banking 2,500. His banking it makes sense because he doesn't have any supply since his buildings blew up. But his opponent could be doing something with that. He's got 2 guys on gas here. None on this one. Alright, Hydra is coming out, and the Dreadman is moving across the map. He's going to have to do a lot of damage here, because he just took a lot of damage. He's moving out, he's taking out some Hydralisks, some good pickoffs here, that'll help him out. And it looks like this Roach Ravager army is returning to defend his base. Alright, armies are pretty even, upgrades are even. Well, actually, I think the Zerg's up 1 attack upgrade. Hopefully there's enough here. This is a lot of Immortals. 7 Immortals. These Roaches will die extremely quickly. But there's no Storm for the Hydralisks, so they're going to do a lot of damage. They're going to be hard to deal with. It looks like the Archons are up front, taking a lot of damage. Ooh, that one takes like 4 bile hits, and it's going to die very quickly now. That's not great. Flanking Immortal from the back. More Roaches coming in. This Immortal dies, he gets surrounded, picked off. These Roaches in the back are decimated, and it looks like the base falls, so that's really good. Now hopefully he can get his units out. He did what he came for. And it looks like he's bunching his units up. Yeah, there's a recall. He loses 1 Immortal, and ooh, those biles just barely miss. Alright, so looks like the counter damage was done there. The Dreadman up by 7 workers again. He killed a good number of drones there. 15 drones went down in that attack. How many probes has he lost? None. Okay, so the difference here is whereas when Dreadman lost this base, he kept every probe alive. The Zerg lost 15 drones here. Didn't pull them out fast enough. It looks like there's a rally of units back to the 3rd base. Attempt to kill this again. But this time the Dreadman's army is here. And it looks like he's waiting for those Archons to finish warping in. And ooh, that Templar dies very quickly. These Ravagers and Roaches don't have a chance against this army right now. It looks like he notices and pulls away. Takes some casualties. He's down 12 workers still. He needs to build more drones. He's building 36 Zerglings. I'm not sure what that's going to accomplish except for harass. Because these 3 Archons, and there's a lot of... Well, it's not that many Templar, but there's 3 Templar. They're getting energy. There's Zealots. And the Protoss player is even on upgrades. He's getting his 4th base. Okay, so the Zerglings could cancel this 4th base very easily if they decide to. Where are they positioned? Looks like these are going for a run by at the top, and these are going for the 4th. So the 4th will probably get canceled. These ones will die basically instantly once they get here. Let's see if this Zerg goes for... Alright, so this space will be canceled. Wait. Yes, he thinks he needs him for the defense, but he could have forced the cancel here first and left. That was a mistake. That was a very big mistake. And here comes a large Protoss army towards his base. They're even on supply. Dreadman has a larger economy behind this still. Even upgrades. How many Templars? Looks like 3. But this is a terrible spot to fight. He better get up this ramp very quickly. He's going up. Looks like he's got his army up, more or less. That Archon's trapped. The Immortals can't hit. He's trying to get them out. Looks like he breaks down one of the Roach Wall, or the Evolution Chamber. Some Storms land, driving the army back. But there's basically only Archons and Immortals right now. The Templar's out of energy, warping to an Archon in the back. These 3 Immortals take a ton of damage from Corrosive Bile. Looks like this army is going to get cleaned up here. It's doing alright though, trading out versus these Ravagers and Hydralisks. That takes another Bile. And it looks like his army goes down, another Ravager goes down, and the losses this game seem to be pretty even. Nothing too crazy here. But at this point, both armies are about the same. But this is a 4-base Protoss who's up 14 workers against a Zerg player who's going Ravager, Hydralisk, Roach. Mostly Hydralisk at this point. The 3-3's on the way for the Protoss player. The Zerg had his 3-3 on the way during that attack, but he canceled them to build more units. That's what hurt him as this game was on a lot longer. He didn't restart them. There's 4 queens being built. This prison's probably going to die. Oh, it's going to live. The charge is enough to drive back this army, and the 2 Archons in the back do a ton of damage. These Hydralisks. We'll have to see how far he wants to chase them. They might get taken out. That's pretty nice, taking a group of Hydralisks. And the army of Nice is down to 10 supply. Oh, now it's up to 40. Because that's how Zerg works. And it appears more Archons are being warped in. You got Templar. So charge the Archon Immortals in army. That is very good. This army is Archon Immortal. There's like 2 Zealots. A couple Templars. There's like 2 Zealots here. We got the expensive units, not the cheap ones, but we can warp in the cheap ones pretty easily across the map. Nice has a massive bank. He needs to use that to defend this. His problem appears to be the larva, but some larva just finished. He should build more units. Here comes the warp-ins. It looks like there's not enough units here. He probably sacrificed this base. He has enough larva and money to warp in 15 more Hydralisks, which would be enough to help him fight this army off. We should let this base go. There's not many drones here. And then just build an army and kill it. More Zealots are being warped in, though. Looks like Nice just doesn't have what it takes here. And this base goes down again. Looks like he's not gonna have time. He's producing 15 more units now, but they're not gonna get a chance to meet up and fight off this army. Although his army is pretty split up, but this looks like the end. The Protoss army is just too strong at this point, and his economy's been higher the whole time. If the Zerg had taken out this 4th base, this would be a different story. If he forced this cancel, the Dreadman would be mining out. He's got very few minerals left here. This base is the only one he really has. Looks like he's starting up his 5th just in case something weird's happening. I'm not sure why the Zerg player is still in this game. I mean, he has this base, but no units. And this base, I'm not sure what the point of this is. And looks like these 5 Immortals and Zealots are going to start taking out this Hive now. 6 Immortals. The Hives have a ton of HP, so this is going to take it a little bit, even though there's 6 Immortals shooting it. Looks like the Hive's going to go down, and that's it. The Dreadman wins the game.